You know, I wasn't born yesterday. I've seen this script before when COVID happened 7 years ago. Okay? I've seen this before 6, 7 years ago when they tried this. Day one, I told you all, be against the lockdowns, be against the forced masking, the forced vaccines. I was right. Everybody eventually just came around to my position or just wouldn't acknowledge it. But the bottom line is this. There's a new virus called the Hantavirus. And let me tell you something. I'm seeing the playbook repeat itself again with what they're doing. I'm going to describe what the Hantavirus is, and I'm going to describe what the government has planned for you and me, the American people. But first, if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's very important because I'll probably get shadow banned for making this video, to be completely honest, if this video is even allowed to air. Anyway, from ABC 7 News, they say global health authorities are working to contain an outbreak of hantavirus aboard the MV Honduras cruise ship. The total number of confirmed cases associated with the outbreak is increasing, health officials said to date. 3 people who were aboard the ship are known to have died from the virus. More than 100 passengers remain on the ship, and the World Health Organization is monitoring their health. Officials said that the overall public health risk remains low, but there may be some person-to-person spread. So, this is very similar to when COVID actually was first going on before they panicked, months before they panicked. They said, oh, well, this is just something that it might spread person to person a little bit, and, it's not a big deal, and we don't need to test everyone, and blah, blah, blah. And then, sure enough, they let it spread to where it can become worldwide, okay? And then they want to clamp us down with lockdowns, 15 days to flatten the curve, 6-foot distance between each other, all that bullshit, right? All that bullshit's coming back. And if you look at the timeline of events here, you're talking COVID really started October of 2019. And when did the lockdowns take effect? March 2020. 5 months between. What happens in 5 months? A little over 5 months from now, guys. 6 months from now. Do. Oh, I know. The midterm elections. Oh, gee. Would you look at that? The midterm elections are coming up. Now, you're going to have people who will have to send in a lot of mail-in ballots. And we all know, based on the 2020 election, how they fucked up the ballots in favor of Joe Biden. Now, for those of you saying, well, surely Trump won't let any lockdowns happen. Surely not. He did the first time. Dr. Fauci was in his administration the first time. Let me be very fucking clear. Just because there's some things that Trump does that, the American people are for, does not mean we endorse everything Trump says or does. I am severely against his war in Iran right now. I just had to pay $45 fucking dollars to fill up my 12-gallon car with gas. I'm not fucking happy with Trump right now. At all. To be clear. And this isn't about embarrassing Trump. Okay? Obviously, Trump is going to catch a lot of flack for this new virus and the war and this and that. And he doesn't give a fuck. He has no more elections to win. Okay? He's doing what the globalists want because Israel controls him. They have the blackmail on him through the Epstein files. He's one of them now. Okay? Understand that. We're back to, hey, we have 2 parties, and everybody in that party, basically, in both parties, outside of a couple people in all of Congress, that are against us. Literally. It's us versus them. The American people versus the people that make all the rules. That's us. That's what's going on. So, make no bones about it. This is to embarrass the MAGA movement. This is to make try to shut MAGA down forever. This is to make people feel like anybody who did support Trump at one time was a fucking loon. Okay? This is to usher in a huge Democratic blue wave in November. And with that huge wave, possibly even remove Trump from office, bring in J.D. Vance, who is completely controlled by Peter Thiel. Who is Peter Thiel? He is a huge, AI tech guy that doesn't even like humanity. Literally can't answer a question, should the human race continue? These are the people we're putting in charge, okay? And whether or not you think Trump was compromised from the beginning, it was all a ruse, or not, I always looked at it like it was possibly a ruse from the jump, right? But we were using Trump to get victories in his first terms when it came to things such as liberty, such as Supreme Court victories for us, and whatnot. But, cutting taxes, states' rights, stuff like that. But I was critical of his handling of COVID from the jump. The media was very critical of him, saying, oh, he needs to wear a mask, he needs to promote the vaccine more. He made the Project Warp Speed or whatever for the vax. He let Anthony Fauci stay in his cabinet when he should have fired Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci should have been arrested and should be, honestly, he should have faced capital punishment, if you know what that means. But he did a lot of good for censorship and whatnot. First term Trump's way different than second term Trump. All right? Way different guy. He's compromised. They could assassinate him at any time they want. They send that message all the time. Literally all the time. Have a guy nick his ear. The ultimate warning, right? But anyway, I'm going to get in more what's going to happen, but let me finish reading some of this article. Health officials in multiple states say they're monitoring some passengers who have returned to the U.S. after being aboard the ship for potential hantavirus infections. Here's what you need to know about hantavirus, including what it is and how it spreads, how it's treated, and if there's prevention methods. Hantavirus are a family of viruses that can cause serious illness and death, according to the CDC. Hantavirus may also spread from person to person, but that is also rare and also suspected for one subtype of South America, according to the World Health Organization. So, again, we're trying to take the word of the same organizations that fucked us all over in COVID, that we're still paying for. We're still dealing with the sky-high inflation and the bullshit, the fallout from what happened in COVID 6-7 years ago when society was grinding to a halt by these motherfuckers. Let me be very fucking clear. There will be no more masking. There will be no social distancing. There will be no lockdown. There will be no quarantine. Whether they want to impose it or not. Fuck off. Arrest me then. Arrest me. I'm not doing it again. I'm not capitulating a single goddamn inch. Don't cancel my fucking sports. You cancel my fucking sports games, you're going to hear me talk about this every fucking day. I'm going to be on the government's ass about this. We need to be on the government's ass right now and let them know right now we are not doing lockdowns again. I don't care if the death rate is 99 fucking percent. Go fuck off. No mandatory quarantine for U.S. passengers, CDC official. A CDC official said Saturday that the federal government doesn't plan to have the repatriated American cruise ship passengers quarantine upon arrival in Nebraska. That's great. I'm sure if you live in Nebraska, you feel pretty fucking good right now that they're not going to quarantine these passengers that were sick. That's the only time quarantines should be okay. They're sick. They literally caught them. They're sick. As of Saturday, none of the 17 Americans aboard the cruise ship have tested positive for hantavirus. But listen to this next sentence. They said none of the 17 Americans on the cruise ship tested positive for hantavirus. The very next sentence they say, when asked if passengers were tested, a CDC official said, it is not recommended to test people that do not have symptoms. So which is it? Were they tested and cleared or just not tested at all? It sounds like they weren't tested at all. weren't even tested at all. And we're just going to release them in Nebraska. Remember this video when before the midterms, we're all fucking standing in line 6 feet apart with a mask on when we go to vote. If the courthouse is even open. Right? Because those mail-in ballots are so trustworthy. Spanish authorities are preparing to port the area in Tenerife to receive passengers with repatriation flights scheduled for the U.S., UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Ireland, and the Netherlands, according to Reuters. Check it out. Look at that. That's all like Western English country-speaking Caucasian countries getting attacked. Imagine that, right? To assist these European Union countries that do not air transport resources available, the European Civil Protection Mechanism has made 2 aircraft available, and the necessary flights for the transfer will be scheduled throughout the course of today, Saturday. Spanish Interior Minister Fernando Grande Marcala said at a press conference Saturday, according to Reuters. Okay, I'm done with the article. I'm done. The point's made. Okay? They know people have gotten this. They're releasing it into the country anyway. They're going to let these motherfuckers spread this shit. Then, when enough people start to get sick, they're going to use this as justification for the goddamn lockdowns again. No! I say no! We need to stand up and fight, goddammit! We should let this happen again! We shouldn't let this happen again. No matter who's the president, who's in charge, peaceful non-compliance. Peaceful non-compliance. They tell us to stay home, we go out. They tell us don't come in a restaurant without this mask, we do it anyway. Kick us out. Arrest us. You can't arrest us all, motherfuckers! You hear me? I'm an American, goddammit! I have free will! I have liberty! I have the right to travel! I have the right to do what I fucking want! And I don't care if it's Trump, if it's Kamala, or whoever, I don't give a fuck! Fuck you! For stealing our money and stealing our future and stealing our country! I'm not standing for this shit! And neither should you!